Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Wendy here. I'm back with another recipe for you guys for your meal prep. Today we're gonna be making some risotto. It's nothing that I was always familiar with. Honestly, I found out about it watching the Gordon and Ramsay show, Hell's Kitchen. Anyone who watches Hell's Kitchen, people always mess up the risotto, but yeah, that doesn't matter. But today we're gonna be making some mushroom risotto with some roasted chickpeas. So I'm not gonna waste too much time. I'm gonna get straight to it. I already have the oil going. So here we're gonna get started. First step, we're gonna saute some onions. So I got sweet onions, I got some shallots, I got some vegetable cubes in this, plus some garlic. And again, as usual, I'm gonna have the measurements in the description for you guys, so you don't have to worry about that. So I'm just gonna put this in on medium. So for about 3 minutes, I'm just gonna saute our onions and shallots until it's a bit golden, and then I'm gonna be jumping in with some mushrooms. Yeah, so our onions are pretty cooked now. I added the mushrooms, as you can see. Zoom in for you. So out of the mushrooms, I'm using portobello mushrooms for this, but you can use whatever you have. So I'm just making sure this is like nicely stirred in. I'm gonna be stirring this for about 5 minutes just to cook the mushroom, but to make sure like all the seasoning basically soak in the mushroom. What I'm gonna add to is jerk seasoning. I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons. Yeah, so this is optional, but if you love jerk, you can add this to the recipe. I'm using the hot one, so like for newcomers to jerk seasoning, you want to go mild, but this is gonna add more flavor because I'm not gonna be adding additional salt to this, but that's something you can add to based on your taste buds. But I'm just gonna use like the natural flavors we have. Okay, like everything smells so good already. As you can see, mushrooms are nicely cooked. So we're gonna get risotto rice. So that's the short green arborio. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it right. Arborio rice, but you get what I mean. So you get yourself some risotto rice. So what we want to do is make sure the rice is properly seasoned. So we're just coating the rice. See. So with this recipe, instead of just using water, I'm using vegetable broth to cook the risotto. So do that. I'm just gonna add 2 cups to get started. All right. Okay, and just keep that in. Nice. I'm just gonna add a bit more because like one thing about it is like it absorbs the water very fast. At the same time, you don't want to put too much water. So I'm just gonna let this cook for now, and we're gonna switch stations now because I'm not gonna be adding any meat to this. So our protein is gonna be the chickpeas. So we're gonna switch and get our chickpeas sorted out. I almost forgot. So we gotta add our spinach. So what I have here is 4 cups of baby spinach. So we're just gonna add this in, and yeah, I'm just gonna leave it as is and cover it up. Total, we're gonna cook this for about 20 minutes, and then but we're gonna be checking in on it and stirring it constantly. But this is gonna go down once the rice starts to cook. So we're gonna jump now to get our protein going. Like I mentioned, we're doing some roasted chickpeas with this recipe. I love chickpeas. Again, if you're making this, you're going to be using some meat. That's a good option as well. But this is going to be more vegetarian friendly. So we're going to have some chickpeas here. And this is pretty straightforward. So what I have here is some dried chickpeas that I soaked overnight. So this is 2 cups of dried chickpeas. And just going to roast those. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Going. Just gonna toss this in. So what I'm adding to this, so this is kale. I got 2 large leaves of kale, like the large petal of kale that I chopped up. And I'm gonna roast this, and you're gonna see it's gonna get very kind of like charred-like, but very flavorful. So you're just gonna toss the kale in there, and no specific measurement. So this got some black pepper, and this is again optional. If you don't like black pepper, you can leave this out. But I found that it adds additional flavor to it. Now, what brings this to life is smoked paprika and onion. So if you can't get this, you can use regular smoked paprika, but I would advise like this is amazing. And again, no actual measurement for this. I'm just gonna sprinkle some in, toss it. So the objective is just to make sure that the smoked paprika is covered. I mean, so the smoked paprika covers your chickpeas and your kale. Add a bit more to this, and it does have a kick as well. So as I said, like so, with this and the black pepper, it does kick it up a notch. And I'm just gonna use just like a regular baking pan, and I already preheated our oven at 375. So I'm just gonna roast our chickpeas here for 20 minutes, and then check on it. Yeah, so we just put our chickpeas in. So it's only been 12 minutes with the risotto, but like I can see, I'm gonna show you guys like to show you how fast it absorbs like the liquid, as you can see. So it's already absorbed most of it, and still it's not cooked. So I'm gonna add another 2 cups of the vegetable broth, and I'm gonna just stir that in. It's gonna bring down the heat more to like a low medium. But yeah, like that's the thing about risotto. So you gotta keep basically you gotta keep checking it as you cook it, because again with risotto it is a bit more like a slight wet rice texture, but you want to make sure it's cooked. But again, like it absorbs the water pretty fast, it might not cook. So that's why you want to be adding your water as you go, and then you can always check the consistency of the rice. And at this stage too, you can add a bit more if you taste it. You can add a bit more seasoning, to some salt if you want to. So our risotto's still going, so just checking on this, make sure it still has enough water. Okay. Just gonna check the consistency here. Yeah, so we're almost home. It's getting there. So in this stage, I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of margarine. Oops. Okay, not working with me. Yeah, so 2 tablespoons of plant-based margarine. And you want to mix it pretty well, just to make sure the margarine gets throughout the whole risotto. Add some creaminess. And I'm going to go in with another 4 cups of spinach to finish this off. Just gonna like, and I apologize, my little guy in the back. All right, and then just gonna cover this and let this cook. Yeah, so it's time to check on our chickpeas. This is ready. Yes, it is. Ooh, there. As you can see, nice golden, very seasoned. And so, and this I was saying, like when you add the not sure if you can hear this, the like the little crunchy, and that's what the kale does to us. When you basically mix the kale with all the seasoning, the olive oil, and I got 375. It gives it just that like that nice crunch, and then when you eat it, it's just very flavorful. So we're pretty much almost done. Just waiting on our risotto to wrap up, but our chickpeas and kale is all set. All right, guys, so everything is done. Chickpeas is done. Risotto is finally done. So you can see here, like this delicious. Got our roasted chickpeas. You can see our risotto. Gonna have some of this for my lunch, but the majority of it is gonna be for my meal prep, my lunches. Yeah, guys, try the recipe. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you would like to see. My objective here is like basically to give you guys good meal prep options. It's gonna be predominantly plant based. Me being vegetarian, but yeah, just like a lot of good options for you guys to make for your families and for your meal prep, just to make it a bit easier. I know everyone is busy throughout the week. So I'm going to be every week. I'm going to be here giving you guys ideas for meal prep. And then thank you for checking the video. Until next week.